Good morning, students. In today's class, we will start with the Schrodinger time-independent equation application, right? So you see here, Schrodinger time-independent equation. We are having one application. In today's class, we'll discuss the first application, Schrodinger time-independent equation, right? So after this, you'll know how the quantum computing will take place. So this is the starting point of quantum computing. So if you understand this in the later section, you can know that your quantum computers, how that will be working, right? So now we'll just start with the application of Schrodinger time independent equation. So the Schrodinger time independent equation, the first application is particle particle in a potential box. Particle in a potential box, right? So the particle in a potential box, how it look like schematically. See, this is the potential box which is having a boundary 0 to L, right? And the particle is there inside the potential box. So we don't know exactly where actually it is located, but what we are doing is that is the reason that we'll use probability and differential equation in order to locate the energy of the particle, and what will be the energy of the particle when it is in the ground state, and what will be the energy of the particle when it is excited on. So now, so before that, what we'll do is that we'll take the help of the Schrodinger equation in solving the energy of the given particle, and also we'll calculate the characteristic of the particle which is acting as a wave. So the two aspects that we are going to derive in this today's class, first of all, we need to calculate the energy of the particle, which is not seen from our naked eye, but still by using this quantum mechanics we can know the exact energy of the particle, not only the energy of the particle, but also we can know the wave characteristic of the given particle. So right, so we'll just start with the consideration of this potential box with the initial boundary from starting from 0, and the final length or we say that the final limit is L. So here in between 0 and L, this limit, you'll find the particle somewhere inside this particular box. So okay, so we'll start with the assumption part, and then we'll come to our mathematical equation, right? So here let us consider, see, let us consider a particle. Let us consider a particle. So we don't know exactly which particle we are trying to explain. So we just consider that particle is some x, right? So let us consider a particle x for which we are calculating the energy, and also we are evaluating the wave nature of that particular particle. So let us consider a particle x, somewhere it is there inside the potential box, and now see, now the height of this potential box is infinity. We are just writing it as infinity. So this is called infinity square well. So here what we are writing is that the potential of the particle V of x will be equal to 0 when the particle is lying between 0 and L. When it is lying between 0 and L, the potential of that particular particle will be initially 0. Now, so it will be infinity when, so apart from this in between them, then the potential of this particle will be infinity. Apart from 0 to L, anywhere outside this particular limit, it will be infinity. So we are considering a particle in a potential box, and that particle may be x. So the potential of the particle will be 0, right, when the particle is lying between the initial limit of 0 and the final limit L. And the potential of this particle, that is here, V of x. So the potential of this particle will be infinity somewhere else means elsewhere means which may be below the initial value 0 or above the value L. So here you'll the potential of that particle will be infinity. So that is the meaning of these two boundary condition. We say this is called actually boundary condition, where you can get this value with this, if x is lying between 0 to L and v of x is equal to infinity, that is elsewhere. Now, so how we need to calculate the energy of this particle? By using, see, by using, by using, by using Schrodinger, 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 Schrodinger time independent equation, Schrodinger time independent equation, by using Schrodinger time independent equation, what we'll do is that we want to locate the energy of the particle. So what is that equation, Schrodinger time independent equation? Just now we derived in the last class. So that can also be written as d square psi, dou square psi, sorry. This is dou square psi, psi by dou x square plus 2m by h bar square into E minus V into psi is equal to 0. Now what is this h bar actually? H bar is nothing but h by 2 pi. So if I write here h bar square, that will be written as h square by 4 pi square. You got it? This h bar is nothing but h by 2 pi. H bar square will be h square by 4 pi square. So I can rewrite this equation. My actual equation was this: dou square psi by dou x square plus, right, 2m by h square, h bar square is h square by 4 pi square E minus V into psi is equal to 0. So how I have written, I'm just giving you the explanation regarding how I have written this value. So 2m, this will go to the this numerator. This is what? 8 pi square m by h square E minus V into psi is equal to 0. So this is equation number 1 and this is also equation number 1. Why? See this equation 1, right? This is equation 1 and this equation 1 are similar. See equation, let us consider this is equation 1 and this may be the equation 2. So the equation 1 can also be, equation 1 can be rewritten as, rewritten as the equation number 2, right? So just now we started with the particle in a potential box with the initial boundary condition 0 to L. So we need to find out what is the energy of this particle, right, inside the this potential box. The limits which we are taking is here. The potential of the particle will be 0 when the particle is lying between 0 to L. So now V of x is equal to infinity. Elsewhere, if it is, it may be here or it may be here. So the value of V of x is infinity. So by using the Schrodinger time independent equation, what we are doing is that we need to calculate the energy of this particle and also the wave function of this particle. So dou square psi by dou x square plus 2m by h bar square into E minus V into psi is equal to 0. This is equation number 1. So h bar is h by 2 pi and h bar square is equal to h square by 4 pi square. Now implies this can also be written as 2m by h bar square is h square by 4 pi square. So what we have done is that just substituted in this particular equation and we got this value. So in the previous class we just derived this equation. This equation can be rewritten as this equation number 1. So if you just see it very closely, see what we are doing is that when you see it, this can also be rewritten as del square psi. So equation 1 can be rewritten as 1 can be rewritten as, right, can be rewritten as del square psi by 2m by h bar square into E minus V into psi is equal to 0. So now if, see here, if you are what we are doing is that we are just simplifying it and we want to see that after simplification what we can write here. See, if V is equal to 0, if V is equal to 0, this equation 1 will become, so we have, from where we got V is equal to 0, you can just see. See, V of x is equal to 0 when the particle is lying between 0 to L. This first condition we are using. That is the reason that I have written here V is equal to 0. So del square psi plus 2me by h bar square psi is equal to 0. Now if k square is equal to, we are just considering this value k square is nothing but 2me by h bar square. Instead of writing 2me by h bar square, we are just replacing with one parameter that is called k square. See, this is for a simple calculation purpose. We are just replacing this k square, this 2me by h bar square with a parameter called k square. So here this equation now will become del square psi plus k square psi is equal to 0. So this can also be written as in mathematics, right, d square plus k square, right, into psi, which is equal to, this is equal to 0. Now this is equation number 3. Just we'll just keep this equation number 3. Now again, you can just see this is equation is nothing but it is a second order differential equation. This second order differential equation will have the solution. This may have the solution. What is that solution? So we just see it. Now, see here, this is equation d square plus k square is equal to psi. This is, let us consider this is equation number 3. Now let us consider, we have already considered this equation, we in this second order differential equation we have just considered this Schrodinger time independent equation expression also. So let us consider the solution. Let the solution of equation number equation 3, the equation 3, let the solution of the equation 3 may be see, this equation may be, the solution of this equation may be, so psi is equal to, psi is the wave function, so what we are considering, a into e to the power of ikx plus b into e to the power of minus ikx. Now this is the solution of the equation number 3. So we are considering that psi is equal to a into e to the power of ikx plus b into e to the power of minus ikx. Now what we are doing is that, now so since we have considered see a and b, so what is this a? So a and b are some constants, so we want to evaluate, see, a comma b are constants, a and b are constants. Now in order to evaluate in order to evaluate the constants, see, in order to evaluate the constants a comma b, what we have to do, we have to use the boundary conditions. Why actually all this thing we are doing, we want to calculate the particle boundary condition, right? So we need to calculate the energy of the particle and also the wave function of the particle. So if the particle is present, definitely that particle will have some energy. If the particle is present, definitely it will have, it is exhibited by some wave nature of the particle. So the wave nature of the particle can also be evaluated mathematically. So we are saying that there is a particle and the wave nature of the nature of the particle is wave, is in the form of wave. So that actually we are proving it by doing some mathematical calculation, right? So that is the reason that we have gone for this boundary condition. So we need to evaluate these constants a and b. So now, so I think that until this we don't have any problem, right? So we'll just go with this next. So what we are, see, we have to use the boundary conditions, right? So what is that boundary condition? See, first we'll, by applying by applying boundary condition, by applying the boundary condition, right? So by applying the boundary condition, what is that boundary condition? See, first of all, to whom you are applying boundary condition? A psi is equal to a into a to the e to the power of ikx plus b into e to the power of minus ikx. So what is that boundary condition first you are applying? First boundary condition, see the first one, psi is equal to 0 implies your x value will be also equal to 0. So now this is equation number sum 4. So applying the boundary condition to this solution, so what you will get? Implies psi is equal to your a into e to the power of 0 is a plus b, implies this is actually 0. Psi is equal to 0, so implies a plus b is equal to 0 and a is equal to minus b, right? Or else b will be equal to minus a. So b is equal to minus a. So what will happen if I write b is equal to minus 1? So let us see. So now the fourth equation will become, see here, implies this equation will become psi is equal to a into e to the power of ikx. So what is b? Minus a. So instead of b, what I can write here? Minus a minus ikx. Now psi is equal to, right, a, just take common, e to the power of ikx minus e to the power of minus ikx. So what we are doing here is that, see, what we will do here, so we can just, to this equation, what we are doing is that multiplying 2i and dividing 2i. To whom you are multiplying and dividing? To this particular equation. So psi is equal to 2ia into e to the power of ikx minus e to the power of minus ikx by 2i, right? This 2ia into e to the power of ikx minus e to the power of minus ikx by 2i. So this is actually the hyperbolic function. If you can remember, your hyperbolic function is given as, see, this can also be written as, this is hyperbolic function e to the power of x minus e to the power of minus x by 2. So here, if 2ia is equal to capital N, so if 2ia is equal to capital N, so what I can write here? Psi is equal to n into sine hyperbolic function. So hyperbolic function here, how will write? I will write with the kx value. So instead of this kx, right, psi is equal to n into sine kx. I got this value by applying my first boundary condition, that is psi is equal to 0 and x is equal to 0 to the solution of the second order differential equation, that is psi is equal to a into e to the power of ikx plus b into e to the power of minus ikx, that is equation number 2. So what I have done here, psi is equal to 0, x is equal to 0. So psi is 0 here, x value is 0, so a into e to the power of 0 is 1, so a plus b. So a plus b is equal to 0, a is equal to minus b, implies b is equal to minus a. So I have just substituted the value, instead of c, b, what I can substitute here? Minus a. So a into e to the power of ikx minus a into e to the power of minus ikx. Now psi is equal to a into e to the power of ikx minus e into e to the power of minus ikx. So what we are doing is that to the right hand side of this equation, we are multiplying and dividing with 2i. So 2i, when you multiply and divide by 2i, what will happen? So here psi is equal to 2ia into e to the power of ikx minus e to the power of minus ikx by 2i. So if 2ia is equal to n, so instead of 2ia, what I can write here? N. We are just, instead of writing 2ia, we are just replacing it with some value parameter n. So this is in the hyperbolic function, e to the power of x minus e to the power of minus x by 2 is nothing but it is given by sine hyperbolic function. So here k sine kx I have written. Now this way, so this is equation number 5th. So what I am doing here is that I am applying the second boundary condition. What is the second boundary condition? See here. So what is that second boundary condition? If second boundary condition say that if psi is equal to 0, x will be equal to L. At the boundaries of the potential box, there you will find, don't find the wave character of the particle. So where you will not find the wave characteristic of the particle, we started with this, psi is equal to 0, we got this value, and x is equal to 0, we got psi is equal to n sine kx. This is last value that we have obtained. From here, what we are doing is that we are applying the boundary condition to the equation number 5th. So what you will get? So n sine k L is equal to 0 implies KL is equal to, so when the KL will be equal to 0, so KL is equal to integral multiple of pi. This is the basic condition where you will find that the this value will be equal to 0. So here K is equal to n pi by L. Now this is what the value of K we got, right, from the boundary condition. So psi is equal to n. We just substitute this K value in this particular equation, right? We are just substituting it. So n sine n pi x by L. Now this is the value of psi we got by applying the two boundary conditions, right? So this is the value what we got. So here, so we say that the character of the wave is a sinusoidal wave. The whatever the particle we are talking about, that particle is exhibiting the wave nature, and that wave nature is nothing but it is a sinusoidal wave. Now see, now what we'll do is that we'll take the help of this this value k is equal to n pi by L. Now this is equation number, let us consider this equation number 6. Now what I am doing here is that, see, now using k is equal to n pi by L, squaring on both sides. So what will you obtain? K square is equal to n square pi square by L square. So k square is equal to n square pi square. So what is k square? 2me by, see, what is the k square value? We already know that k square value is what? See, k square value is how much? KL is equal to n pi. So n square pi square. So n square pi square L. So this is right, n square, yeah, k square is 2me by h bar square whole square, which is equal to n square pi square by L square. So what did this will be? This will be equal to 8, right? H bar is h by 2 pi, right? 8m, 8 pi square, 8 pi square m e by 2me by h bar square, right? That is 2me by h bar. K square value is this one. See, this one k square value we got 2me by h bar square. So 2me by h bar square will get you 8 pi square me by h square, which is equal to n square pi square by L square. Now this is the value we got. So here what you will do is that pi square and pi square value get cancelled. So we want to evaluate the energy of this particle, right? So here E is equal to n square by n square h square by 8m L square. So you got the value of E, energy of the particle, and so in order to calculate the energy of the particle when it is going to excited state, from that excited state it is going to the second excited state, and so on. So we got the general expression of the energy of the particle, that is En is equal to n square h square by 8 ml square. So now where n can take value from 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So right from this expression we come to the conclusion that there exists a particle, and if the particle is existing, definitely it will have some energy. So that energy is given by En is equal to n square h square by 8 ml square, where n can take value from 0, 1, 2, 3. So we just start with this by applying the first boundary condition. We got this value. See, psi is equal to 0, x is equal to 0, a plus b is equal to 0. So a is equal to minus b and b is equal to minus a. So psi is equal to a into e to the power of ikx. Instead of b, we are just writing it at minus a into e to the power of minus ikx. Psi is equal to a into e to the power of ikx minus e into I to the minus e to the power of minus I kx. Now, so in order to reduce it into a particular form, we are just multiplying with 2I to this particular equation, 2I and dividing it with 2I. So 2 psi is equal to 2IA e to the power of I kx, e to the power of I kx minus e to the power of minus I kx by 2I. So instead of writing 2IA, what you can write? A similar parameter capital N we are writing. So psi is equal to capital N e to the power of x minus e to the power of minus x by 2I. So what we will get? We will get a sine hyperbolic function that is called sine kx. This is equation number 5. Now if psi is equal to 0 and x is equal to L, so what we can write here? So this equation can be rewritten as, if the applying the second boundary condition, so psi is equal to 0, n sine kl is equal to 0, kl is equal to 0 and kl is equal to n pi. So k is equal to n pi by L. So psi value is equal to n sine n pi x by L. So this is equation number 6. So what we are doing here is that using k is equal to n pi by L, squaring on both sides. So what will get? K square is equal to n square pi square by L square. So k square value is what? 2me by h bar square. Now which is equal to n square pi square by L square. So h bar square is what? H by 2 pi. So when you square it, you will get 8 pi square me by h bar square, which is equal to n square pi square by L square. So pi square get cancelled. So here generally what we got? Energy En is equal to n square h square by 8 ml square. So n can take value from 0 comma 0 comma 1 comma 2 comma 3. Now, so now what we are doing here is that we need to, this gives actually, this is the equation for allowed energy level, and we say that this is called actually the eigen values. So this is actually the possible, the possible, the possible, the possible values of energy. This equation will give us the possible values of energy of the particle. This En is equal to n square h square by 8 ml square, right? So here, so next what we'll do is that we'll go for the wave equation. So we just take the help of the first one. Psi is equal to what we got? Psi of x is equal to, see, psi, right? Now psi, sorry, we'll start with this, right? Psi is equal to, right, now psi is equal to what the value we got? Psi n of x is equal to, right, n sine n pi x by L. Now this is the value that we got from the second boundary condition. So now we need to solve this and we will get the psi value, and we have just assumed that 2IA is equal to n. So we will evaluate what is that n is equal to, right, in terms of the boundaries of the potential box also. Now here, so we will take that by using in the significance and properties of the wave function, we have just come across with the normalized condition by using normalized condition, by using the normalized condition. What is the normalized condition says? Integration of n is equal to, so what is our basic limit? 0 to L. So mod of so, okay, into dx is equal to 1, right? So there is a possibility of getting the particle somewhere in the space. So 0 to L mod psi into dx is equal to 1. Now this is the condition, mathematical condition. See, so 0 to L, now n sine n pi x by L, right, square, right, into dx, right? So now we just what we are doing, n square, just keep outside n square, 0 to L sine square n pi x by L into dx, right? So now which is equal to 1. This is in the form of right, it is in the form of form of, right, sine square theta. So this can also be written as 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2, right. So now now see what we are doing here, 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. Now here what we are writing here, n square into n square by 2, the 2 take outside, so what will be remaining, 0 to L 1 minus cos 2 n pi x by 2 n pi x elect into dx, right, which is right. Now this is equal to 1. So separately what we'll do, we'll just do separate the integration, right, n square by 2, right, integration of 0 to L 1 into dx, right. This take big bracket minus cos 2 n pi x by L, right, integration of 0 to L into dx, right. This is actually equal to 1, right. So now what we do is that this value uh, n square individually, if you do this n square into 1 into dx is your x, so the condition for 0 to L, so integration of cos will be your sine, and again I will take 2 outside, so this factor will be 0. If you solve it, please solve this integration, you'll get the value, solve the integration, you'll get the value as 0, right. So now which is equal to, now this is actually equal to, right, this is also 0 to L, this is equal to 1. So implies what we can write here, n square by 2 into x is 0 to L is equal to 1. So here what you can write, upper limit minus lower limit, so applying the upper limit minus lower limit, n square L by 2 is equal to 1, implies L is equal to 2 by, sorry, n square will be equal to 2 by L, implies n is equal to under root 2 by L. So we got the n value, so we just substitute in our basic equation. What is that basic equation? Psi is equal to n, right, n sine n pi x by L. Now this is our basic equation. Now that basic equation for one dimension, right, will become, now instead of n, what is the value we got, under root 2 by L sine n pi x by L. Now this is the wave nature of the, what you can say, of the particle that we have assumed. So by this we can say that there exists a particle in a potential box, and also that particle is possessing energy, and we evaluated that energy, and that are nothing but that are eigen values. And also we have evaluated the wave function, that is in one dimension it look like in the psi of 1d is equal to root of 2 by L sine n pi x by L. Now this is the end of this application of the Schrodinger time independent equation. So in the examination he will ask you, apply the Schrodinger time independent equation and solve for the particle in a potential box in one dimension, and evaluate the eigen wave function and the eigen value. So eigen wave function here, psi of 1d is also known as the eigen wave function. Now with this we'll try to end our today's class. With this we have completed the your mid one syllabus, that is we have completed unit 1, unit 2, and the half or part of the unit 3, that is chapter 1 we have completed, that is quantum mechanics, right? There are numerous applications of Schrodinger time independent equation, but only in the syllabus it is only one application is given to you, which will lead to the quantum computing, understanding of quantum computing, right? So thank you everybody. So we'll just end our today's class, right?